Arriving on Korriban to attend the Brotherhood's most prestigious Sith Academy, Bane initially found himself at a disadvantage, as most of the students were born on Sith worlds, trained all their lives in the dark side of the Force. Yet Bane was determined to surpass them, and so dedicated himself entirely to his studies, even spending his free time in the Sith archives, learning the history of their order and the teachings of ancient Dark Lords. Rising through the ranks, his teachers encouraged him to abandon his studies of the past, as Dark Lord Khan reformed the Sith, doing away with many of their destructive traditions. And as his power grew, he complied, focusing entirely on the lessons of his instructors. Yet Bane's momentum was nearly halted after a pair of sparring matches with Foharg, a fearsome Makurth who won their first encounter, and nearly the second as well, besting his opponent in the duel, but refusing to finish him off, instead taunting and humiliating him in front of Battlemaster Kasim and the other students. Growing beyond what he could contain, Bane's rage exploded in the form of a powerful dark side wave, which threw his Makurth rival back. Ignoring Kasim's order to stop, Bane then used a force choke to squeeze the life from Foharg's body. Violating an academy rule by killing a fellow student, Bane was sent to the school overseer, Lord Cordis, for punishment, but was instead praised for his strength and resolve, learning that exceptions to the rules were made for powerful students who showed potential and acted as true Sith. In fact, the masters were so impressed, Bane was rewarded with private lessons, causing his reputation and prestige to rise greatly, bringing him to the attention of Sirach, the best student at the academy. A powerful Force-sensitive Zabrak from Iridonia, Sirach was rumored to have been the apprentice of Cordis for 20 years, even before the creation of their school, and so was firmly planted at the top of the student hierarchy, with some even convinced he was the Sithari, a prophesied perfect dark side being who would destroy the Sith and raise them from the dead stronger than before. Yet despite winning acclaim, respect, and even earning his place as the next potential challenger to Sirach, Bane started to struggle after realizing he must have killed his father with raw dark side power all those years ago. Growing afraid of his own strength, doubt blocked his connection to the Force, making him unable to channel anything more than a trickle of energy. Panicking at the thought of losing his position, Bane challenged Sirach to a duel, hoping a dangerous situation might force his powers to return. But they did not, and Sirach utterly destroyed him, leaving the young man a broken mess, so utterly defeated, the Zabrak did not bother finishing him, and just walked away in disgust. Spending the next few weeks in a Bacta tank, Bane emerged to learn he was now at the very bottom of the school's hierarchy, ignored by students and dismissed by teachers, with all privileges revoked by order of Lord Cordis. Desperate to regain his powers, Bane once again immersed himself in the library, hoping to find help among the teachings of the ancients, and while there was great wisdom to be found, the solution to his problem actually came in the form of a fellow student, as he was eventually approached by Githany, a beautiful and powerful former Jedi who turned to the dark side. The apprentice of Jedi Master Honda, Githany trained alongside Kiel Charney, her fellow Padawan and secret lover, yet emotional attachments were strictly forbidden by the Jedi in most cases, and so when Master Honda learned of their relationship, he demanded it come to an end. Though Githany refused and was ready to leave the order entirely, Charney would not, and agreed to end things, rededicating himself to light side teachings. Helping him make this decision, Charney's friend, Valentine Farfalla, warned that Githany was on a path to the dark side, and advised him to stay strong in his resolve. Furious with both Charney and the Order, Githany gathered all information she could about Lord Hoth's forces before defecting to the Sith. On the verge of winning the war against the Jedi Order and Old Republic, the Brotherhood of Darkness were conquering core worlds, and even nearing the capital of Coruscant. Yet the Jedi were suspiciously absent from many of these engagements, as Lord Hoth realized they were losing the war and so decided to change strategies and take a bold risk. Leaving the core defended only by conventional forces, Hoth gathered all willing Jedi to the Army of Light and took them on a campaign of recruitment, visiting many Outer Rim worlds, including those held by the Sith, as they were busy fighting in the core. recruiting anyone with any level of Force sensitivity. Hoth grew his numbers and made his stand on Ruusan, a mid-rim planet of strategic importance, recently conquered by the Brotherhood in the First Battle of Ruusan, when Khan used his battle meditation to lead his outnumbered forces in a surprise attack, and nearly lost the confrontation after discovering Republic forces had a Jedi Master on board, also employing battle meditation. Though Khan was a powerful Force user, he chose to train all his powers equally and so did not specialize in battle meditation, whereas his Jedi opponent was an old woman who spent her whole life training this one ability, thereby giving their side a significant advantage. Yet the Sith ultimately emerged victorious when Lord Kopaj boarded the Jedi Master's ship to kill a squadron of elite soldiers and 2 Padawans before reaching his target. To his surprise, she made no effort to defend herself and instead remained in her meditation, using every last second of life to help the Republic fleet. Earning his respect, Kopaj struck her down and the battle was won. Leaving a strong fleet to defend their new holding, the Sith won yet another victory in the Second Battle of Ruusan when the Republic failed to retake the planet. It was at this point that Lord Hoth selected Ruusan as the location of the ultimate battle between darkness and light, invading with his army and winning the Third Battle of Ruusan to entrench themselves on the planet. Learning that the Jedi revealed themselves and were all gathered on Ruusan, Khan made a fateful decision of his own, choosing to abandon his conquest of the core to bring all Sith Lords and Acolytes together, including those still studying at their various academies, except those on Korriban, as they were the best and needed to complete their training. Leaving his conventional armies and fleets to continue their campaign in the core, Khan led the Brotherhood to Ruusan, where the Jedi defector Githany gave them all the information necessary to win the Fourth Battle of Ruusan, gaining a strong foothold on the planet. Attaining great prestige before even arriving at the Sith Academy on Korriban, Githany was instantly launched to the top of the hierarchy, believed to be the next potential rival to Sirac. Hoping to gain an advantage against the Zabrak, Githany approached Bane, seeking to exploit his weakness and low reputation by posing as an ally to strike a deal. Teaching Bane to overcome his mental block with exercises she learned after experiencing something similar as a Jedi Padawan, she also told him what the Masters were saying in private lessons, while Bane in turn gave her all his insight into Sirac, including everything he learned from their duel. Helping Bane come to terms with his powers and embrace the dark side, the two started to develop feelings for each other, but lacked the trust necessary for a serious relationship. Feeling his power return, Bane reached out to Kasim, asking for private lessons in secret so Qordis would not find out, and the Sith Master agreed, believing he had significant potential. Growing somewhat close, Kasim became a mentor figure to Bane, not only teaching him lightsaber combat, but also answering questions about their order and the dark side. Though he was no longer struggling to feel the Force, Bane was now undergoing a philosophical crisis, as he could not reconcile the teachings of the Brotherhood with what he was learning from the Sith archives, seeing that the time-honored traditions of the Sith were far different from what was currently being practiced. As he understood it, the Sith Order was all about individual power and ambition, one master surpassing all others and destroying all rivals to claim the mantle of Dark Lord, or even Darth, an ancient Sith title no longer in use. Yet the Brotherhood claimed all members were equal, with all of them granted the title Dark Lord. Even if the Brotherhood practiced the dark side, their fundamental philosophy was in direct contradiction to the traditions of the Sith, making them more like a dark side Jedi Order. When he asked Kasim about some of these questions, the Master explained that the ancient Sith were powerful, but ultimately lost their wars with the Jedi, as betrayal and infighting always weakened their order before victory could be achieved. Therefore, Khan reformed the Sith, so that all powerful enough to reach the ranks of the Brotherhood were considered equal. This way, Sith Lords could concentrate all their efforts on defeating their enemies and conquering the galaxy. This was also why the Darth title was banned, as it implied supremacy and provoked challenges, risking the unity of the Brotherhood. Though Bane pretended to understand what Kasim was saying, he could not help but feel the Sith had lost their way. According to the ancients, a true master of the dark side was unrivaled and unmatched. Equality was a lie, and victory belonged to the powerful. A special thanks to all those who contribute to Civilization X, like Tim, PB Zelos, the Dark Trollin, SithBen24, and Tom Moonstruck Waters. If you'd like to help the channel, be sure to give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the links below, or else go to patreon.com/civilizationx, where you can gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and watch the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.